Welcome to a new planetary and seismic update. On the SGI graph, we see magnitude 5.5 and larger earthquakes, and we see some clustering, but also some spatial clustering that is in the same region, especially on the 27th, 28th. We see some temporal clustering there, but also in Revelia. I hope I actually pronounced that correctly. Gigado Islands region, higher 5 magnitude earthquakes. And then we see on the 30th, that's what I mentioned in the previous update, that it could be a stronger event, especially around the 30th. And that's especially because of the lunar conjunction on the 28th with Jupiter. And then we count 2.5 days. And it actually stayed at 6.2 southwest of Africa. But then 2.5 days, we had some clustering of magnitude 6 earthquakes. This is interesting to see here. No higher 5 magnitude earthquakes, but really 6 and larger, but also peaking 6.2, so it wasn't all that strong. Primarily at the Kermadec Islands region, like I said, some spatial clustering there. And also Hokkaido, Japan, magnitude 6 and an aftershock 5.9 on the first, just following the lunar conjunction with Mars. So around the 30th, the strongest seismic activity, basically. It doesn't always result in one large earthquake. This time we had some strong earthquakes, but not too strong, and in the low 6 magnitude range, multiple events. Okay, that's what we actually had. Again, the seismic response very much depends on the stress levels in Earth's crust. On to the next time frame, until the 11th of June. At first, it doesn't look too critical, although we have this lunar conjunction with Mars. Actually, it was yesterday, so we could see later that tomorrow some seismic response could be in a higher 5 or 6 magnitude range. Then we have a lunar conjunction and high green peak with Saturn and Neptune. Saturn is closing in on Neptune as seen from Earth, so that will remain for quite some time on the SGI graph. They don't move too fast. Saturn moves faster than Neptune because it's close to the Sun. But that's on the 4th, and we could see some seismic response there on around the 6th, if you count about 2 days from that lunar peak. And it could go into the 6 magnitude range, but it is not directly preceded by really critical planetary geometry, so it may not be all that much. The really critical convergence that we're going to have is on the 8th and 9th, because there we have 2 planetary conjunctions involving Mercury and Venus on the 8th and on the 9th. And that, as we look at the solar system, we see here Earth, Mercury and Jupiter in a conjunction. Earth is directly involved here. And we see Mercury, Sun and Venus also almost at the same time. There are some 9 hours in between on the 8th, and that's followed by a lunar conjunction with Uranus on the 9th. If you look back at the SGI graph, we see that with the green peak, Moon, Earth, Uranus, that follows on the critical planetary geometry, and as a result we could see stronger seismic activity on the 10th, possibly later on the 10th, and then we actually arrive at the full moon on the 11th. There's an interesting time if you look at this sequence. We have the critical planetary geometry, then we have the lunar conjunction with Uranus, actually it's an opposition, and then the full moon. And because of that convergence of planetary geometry with Mercury, Venus on the 8th, we could see an obvious seismic response later on the 10th, on the 11th, that's my estimate, and in a worst case scenario that could reach magnitude 7. This is because Earth directly involved with Mercury and Jupiter, and also Mercury, Sun, Venus. That combination shouldn't be underestimated. So later on the 10th, on around the 11th, that's around the time of full moon, there could be an obvious seismic response, definitely into the 6 magnitude range, maybe magnitude 7, depending on the stress levels in Earth's crust. Check out the website for the latest updates and also our social media, and also the atmospheric anomalies. We haven't recorded that much in the last several days, so be sure to check out the latest updates. This is the update for now. Stay safe. Until next time.